Hey everyone, it's Miss Potts, and for lesson number 2, we are going to be talking about how you can find success in your math class. What we're going to be focusing on today is how to take effective notes. I'm going to give you some strategies on how to do that. Also, we're going to be talking about time management and how to stay organized. That's something that I struggle with every day. I have to make lists in order to help keep me organized and to help me manage my time, and that also goes along with taking notes. I need to write everything down or else more than likely I'm going to forget it. So let's take a look at taking notes. I know that this is a lot on the screen, but I want to go through each of these topics with you. It's the top 10 note-taking strategies that I can give to all of you. The first one is don't write down everything that your teachers tell you in class. More than likely, you're going to miss something really important if you're too busy writing every single little thing down. So make sure that you're concentrating on the main idea. What do you need to be taking from that lesson? And write that down. Also, this is something that you can work towards. Taking notes should consist of key words and short sentences. Don't be long-winded with your handwriting. Keep it short and keep it simple. But take accurate notes. You should usually use your own words so that you better understand what you're writing and taking down in your notes, rather than maybe something that your teacher said that you didn't quite understand. Maybe get some clarification during live class so that you can put that into your notes to have a better understanding and so that you can review it later. Let's take a look at number 4. Take a minute about your materials before you start taking your notes. How are you going to take notes if you don't have anything there? All too often, I will start a class and halfway through I realize that a lot of my students aren't taking notes. So make sure that you have your notebook, your pencil, because this is math, and all too often math we make mistakes and we need to erase and work out more problems. So make sure that you have all your materials ready to go in order to take those notes. Have a uniform system of how you take notes. What works best for you? Are you good with bullet points? Are you better with numbering things out? Do you do better with color coding? Whatever works for you, do that. Don't worry about missing something little. You can always leave space in your notes to add something later, because it's really awesome that you can go back into these lessons and recordings and review what we went over so that you can add something in your notebook that you might have missed during class. Take a look at the rest of these note-taking strategies. What is most important is when you take your notes, you need to review them. Review them often, periodically. This is the only way to achieve lasting memory. If you write something down and then pages on pages go on top of it, you're more than likely going to forget it. So make it a point to maybe every week go through the notes that you have taken to let that information sink in. If you have any questions regarding taking notes, you are more than welcome to ask me or any of the other teachers in the algebra workshop, and we'd be more than happy to share more tips and tricks and strategies on how to take effective notes. But right now, let's see what we have next on our agenda. We're going to talk about time management. I know in the cyber setting that time management is a must. You have to be very self-disciplined and know how to effectively manage your time in order to find success in a cyber environment. So let's take a look at the top 5 time management skills and strategies that I'm providing to you. Take it or leave it, add more if you would like to, but these are the ones that I'm going to share with you today. The first time management strategy that I want to share with you guys is setting priorities. Managing your time effectively requires you to be able to distinct or tell the difference between what is important and what is urgent. Focusing on important activities or tasks allows you to gain gain a greater control over your time and possibly reduce the number of important tasks that you have to do that then become urgent, and then more than likely you'll become overwhelmed. One of the easiest ways to prioritize this is to make a to-do list. Whether you need to make one on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis, that list depends on you and the tasks that you need to complete. But just be careful not to allow that list making to take control of everything else that you're doing. You might choose to group things into categories such as high priority, low priority, or medium priority. Or you can number them in order, or you can use a color coding system, whatever works for you, but set those priorities to figure out what is important for you to complete. The second strategy that we want to talk about is use a planning tool. Time management experts recommend using a personal planning tool to improve your productivity. Examples of some personal planning tools could be a simple planner, a little diary, a calendar, programs that you can use on the computer, any charts, index cards, notebooks. Writing down your tasks, your schedule, and things like that that you need to complete will help you stay organized and manage your time better. Which helps to lead me into my next point, is scheduling your time appropriately. Even the busiest people find time for what they want to do and feel is important. Scheduling is not just recording what you have to do, it is making time to commit to things that you want to do. So, good scheduling requires that you know yourself. Using a time log or whatever form of scheduling you would like to use your planning tool. Maybe you want to use a notebook. Use that. And that time should determine what you're going to do and when you can be the most productive. Plan your most challenging tasks during the day when you know you're going to have the most energy. So if you know that you're slacking in the morning, maybe you might not want to schedule to take some quizzes the first thing in the morning. That's just an example. So block out your time for high priority activities, assignments, classes to be the most productive student that you can be. So in order to be a very productive student, number 4 is a pretty good one. Let's not procrastinate. You may be putting off tasks for a variety of reasons. I, for one, am very guilty of procrastinating. We all do it. But in order to have the most effective time management skills as possible, procrastinating just really isn't an option. Perhaps the task seems overwhelming or unpleasant, and that's why you're putting it off, and that's why you don't want to do it. So maybe try breaking down that task into smaller segments or smaller parts that require less time and commitment so it doesn't seem so overwhelming. If you're having trouble getting started, you may need to complete a priority task list or maybe contact one of your teachers. We're always there to help you to get organized. Also, a great way to help you not procrastinate is to make sure that you're keeping up with the planning tool that you set for yourself. Reflect upon it and see how you're making your time worthwhile. Are you using it effectively? My last point is avoid time wasters. And what I mean by time wasters are things like texting, being on YouTube for much longer than you need, or having your music on Pandora or Spotify. I know that some people, they say that they work best when they have music on, but be mindful of whenever your mind is starting to stray from what is really important in the tasks that you have set forth for yourself to something that is considered a time waster. In this cyber school, we have what's called BBIM, Blackboard IM. A time waster could be that, just that. It's a really great tool, but maybe when you have priority tasks that you would like to complete, just sign off. It will be it won't be there. It won't be a distraction to you. Put your phone away. Maybe put it in another room or put it on silent so that texting or phone calls don't disturb you and waste your time from what you need to be getting done. I hope that today's lesson was beneficial for you in order to help you find success in not only your math class, but all of your classes here at Achievement House Cyber Charter School. So to review, what we focused on today were how to take effective notes, and there's some strategies for that, how to manage your time effectively, and lastly, helping you to stay organized. Let's talk about organization. We already talked about maybe having a planner that you write things down in. I, for one, have one, or else I don't know what I would do on a daily basis. In that planner, you could have a schedule of all of your classes, when cyber cafes are with your teachers, things like that. Just get organized with what you need to do on a daily basis so that you can look at it in a glance. Also have that planner write in when you have assignments, quizzes, end of pod assessments due, so that you know you need to be preparing for something prior to that date. Don't procrastinate and do it at the last minute. Get your brain ready for what is to come by writing those things down in your planner. A big part of organization is having everything that you need in a place where it is needed. So organize your belongings. Have a place to put papers for each class. So for your math class, have a separate notebook just for math class. You can write the date at the top of that notebook, take the notes for that day, print any papers out for that class that you might need, and put it in where it corresponds and correlates to those notes. Stay organized so that whenever you need to go back to a specific lesson, everything is already there for you. You don't want to have to be rooting through literature stuff, biology stuff, along with all of your math notes. Keep it all in one place so that you stay organized along with all of your belongings. All right, everybody, we are at the end of our lesson for today. Like I said, we went over note-taking, time management, and organizational skills. Now, we are all here to help you in taking notes, managing your time, and getting organized. We are here for you. We are kind of experts in doing that. I want you to take some time now to manage your time right after this lesson is over, which will be very shortly, to answer the questions below. Submit that to receive credit for this lesson. Don't waste any time. Everything's fresh in your brain, so that you should be going in and completing that now. If you have any questions, just let us know. Otherwise, we will see you in class. Bye.